Hey guys, I'm just going to record a quick video on home DHCP servers or even a small business DHCP server, and just look over a couple networking tools along the way. So I'm going to first start out going to Start menu, going to a command prompt. So I'm just going to type CMD, hit enter, and I just got a basic Windows command prompt here. I'm going to run one of our most common commands, ipconfig, just to see what the IP configuration is of this workstation. Now you can see right here that the local area connection for Ethernet is the media is disconnected. That's because I don't have this thing plugged into a network cable. I have everything hooked up with wireless. So you can see under the wireless LAN adapter, I actually have some settings. I have my IPv4 address, which is 192.168.1.5. I have a subnet mask for this class of network, and I also have a default gateway, which is typically the IP address of the router. The gateway is if we don't know where to go, if the packets don't have a local destination, we need to go to the gateway to get us out somewhere else. And the somewhere else in this case would be the internet. So that 192.168.1.1 is another device. It happens to be our wireless router. And this computer that we're on right now is a device on the local area network with its IP address of 192.168.1.5. So we have two separate devices that we know about. So we could go to the bottom of our command prompt here, and I'm just going to see if that device is really active on the network. So I'm just going to do a ping 192.168.1.1, and you can see there must be a node. We know it's the router, but it has to be existing. It has to be there. It has to be on. It has to be replying, because we see packets come back from our basic ping. We use ping for just basic troubleshooting. If that device was off, it wouldn't ping. It wouldn't reply back. So we know the router's there. So now I just want to talk about DHCP. We got this 192.168.1.5 that I saw in IP configuration. We got it from something. I didn't set this up myself. I needed a server to give me that. I'm the client, and there's a server. The server happens to be DHCP. Probably the most common use is to get your IP address, along with the other configurations for the networking. So 1.5 was given to me by a server. It also happens to be the wireless router, and it's acting as a DHCP server. My computer is acting as a DHCP client. So in our other video on services, we actually saw that. Let me just go back to services, that I have a DHCP client running. Now let me get into there. Watch what happens whenever I disable the DHCP client. If I hit stop, I do another IP config. Let me just do a refresh or a release. And a renew. Do an IP config. And you can see I have all sorts of problems right now. This is my wireless LAN, and I have not a nice IP address. It's called my APIPA address, and pretty much I have lost internet connectivity because of it. Another example where services are required. I'm going to turn back DHCP client on, and just, I think if I just wait a second, ipconfig will come back and give me my original. Let's just double check that. And I look, and we're back to having 192.168.1.5. So in that moment, there was no internet. There was no connectivity outside of my network. I could not really even talk to my other computers in my own network. So hugely critical. Now I'm going to go to this router just to show you that the DHCP server really is there. So let's just know the IP address. I'm going to click back. By the way, here's the router that I have. And I'm going to go to a web browser and just type in the IP address. This is typically how most routers at home and small businesses and even in large enterprises are configured through a web-based client. So there's the IP address. I already previously logged in. I'm going to maximize this, and I'm just going to go down to something. It's actually asking me to do a firmware upgrade, but I'm going to go down to LAN setup. Every router's a little different, but I just want to show you. Here's our device name. Here is the IP address for the router. You can see it matches what we saw as the gateway address. Same subnet mask as my computer. And we have it checked that we are using the router as a DHCP server. The starting IP address is 192.168.1.2. The ending IP address that it will give away is 192.168.1.10. So I'm only giving away 9 IP addresses just because I don't have that many nodes, I don't have that many workstations or iPhones or whatever on my network. I just don't want to give out that many. So this router is controlling the IP addresses for every device on my network. Just wanted to show you how that works, and you should try this at home just to see that your router is doing the same thing. Okay guys, thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.